To you brothers from the street, I love you. I'm also from the street. And I don't mind if every now and then somebody can see the street in me. They say, you know, that brother Khalid, sometimes he be like talking like, it's like he from the street. You know, sometimes he be kind of like Jahid. Well, I apologize for that. Because you can take the man out of Brooklyn, but you can't take the Brooklyn out of the man. So if you look real close, you're gonna hear a little bit of, you're gonna see a little bit of Brooklyn. And, you know, if things heat up, you might feel some of the Brooklyn. And I thank Allah. I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I never want to become soft. I never want the kafir to think that they can walk over my face. And I prefer for my sons, if they don't have much knowledge, I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that they will never allow the kafirs to walk over their faces. And so you young brothers who love Allah, who love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but you have some defect in your hearts, you have some defect in your deen, clean up your act. You have time, inshallah. Come to the masjid. If you can't pray 5 times a day, crawl into the masjid and pray once a day. Sneak in the mosque. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what the brothers are thinking about what you do. Allah knows what they do that nobody knows about. Don't worry about what you're doing that's wrong in the street. The mosque belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and belongs to you too. The mosque is the place to come wash up. Clean your act up. Clean up that money. Clean up that dirty money. Clean up your association. Don't fear your homeboys like you ought to fear Allah. Because your homeboys is waiting for one of you to come to the mosque, to do the right thing, to say the right thing, and to come back to them and say, listen brothers, we still cool, everything is all right, but man, look man, we got to come back to Allah. We got to come back to Allah. We got to give the respect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Pay the rent. Pay the rent. Paying the rent means make the salah. Pay the rent on the house. The house is me. Pay the rent. How you pay the rent? Make the salah. Make salah even if you're doing something wrong. Don't let anybody tell you that because you're doing something wrong, don't make no salah, because it don't make no difference. Whoever tell you that is a fool. It's like the man who came to a scholar and said, listen, I killed 99 men, 999 people. What you think? You think Allah will forgive me? The scholar told him, no, you ain't gonna be. So he said, all right, fine, I might as well kill you too. What's the hikmah in that? What's the hikmah? The hikmah is that the scholar should have told him, Inna Allah ghafur rahim. The worst Muslim, the worst, is better than a pious mushrik. The worst Muslim is better than a pious kafir. No matter what Allah gives the kafirs. The whole dunya means nothing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't worry about what He gave them. The Prophet ﷺ said, if this whole dunya had the value of the wing of a mosquito, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wouldn't give the kafirs a drink of water. But because the dunya don't mean nothing to Allah, He give them and He give us. And He doesn't care. But Allah loves the Muslim who calls upon Him from time to time. Allah loves the one that does the wrong and then says, oh Allah, please forgive me. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayk. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-dhalimin. This is what you need to say. Because you and me, we can become better than Al-Hajj Malik Shabazz. He was just a small Muslim. He was just a small flash in the pan. He wasn't a Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. He wasn't a Hamza radiallahu anh. He wasn't a Tariq ibn Ziyad. He wasn't a Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu anh. No, he was just a man who found himself by the grace of Allah and made tawbah and made a commitment, and his life ended in 3 months. You brothers from the street, you soldiers on the edge, that's what I call you. And we need some soldiers on the edge. Because sometimes the brothers that's in the inside just get too pious. You get too soft. Sometimes there's business that need to be taken care of that only the soldiers on the edge can take care of. Look to the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ and you will understand that even in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there were soldiers on the edge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them to the Prophet ﷺ. He had no responsibility over them, but they took care of some business on the edge. Look to the seerah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet ﷺ, when they come to you and give sadaqah, take the sadaqah and purify it for them. Purify it and make dua for them. But you don't have to take no responsibility of what they do, because they're on the edge. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Lots of brothers in here on the edge. Make your way from the edge into the middle, because that's where the safety is. Don't stay out on the edge, because the edge is dangerous. You can fall off at any time. Any time. If you die on the edge, you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going, brothers, if you die on the edge. Because you don't know, you ain't making no salah. You ain't paying no zakah. You eating haram. You drinking haram. You doing haram. You speaking haram. You carrying the weight of the haram on you day and night. So the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can come. Allah can, He says in the Quran, Hamim, Tanzilul Kitab min Allah al-Aziz al-Alim, Ghafir al-Dambi wa Qabil al-Tawbi Shadid al-Qabil al-Tawb, La ilaha illa huwa ilayhi al-Masir. So brothers, make your way from the edge towards the center. Know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all forgiving, most merciful. You have to make tawbah. And after you make tawbah, be the best that you can be. You ain't got to be what nobody say you need to be. Don't think you need to come in from the edge and right away you need to grow your beard. Right away you need to put on an abaya, you need to put on a kufi. Right away you got to learn the aqidah, you got to memorize authentic ahadith, you got to learn the seerah, you got to get on the haqq. You don't have to do all of that right away, because some of the brothers who have done that, they still on the edge too. They in the center in the words, they in the center on the outside, but maybe inside some things they doing, they still on the edge. And there are some brothers who they didn't grow the beard yet, they didn't put on the abaya yet, they didn't learn the aqidah or the ahadith or the seerah yet, but their heart is mukhlis. And if their heart is mukhlis, Allah will accept from them, inshallah, from the heart that's mukhlis. So we don't make the judgment. We say, establish the prayers. Clean your money. Clean your company. Clean your heart. Spend an hour a week with a student of knowledge. Come in the circles where the brothers is giving up the knowledge. Even if you go to sleep, you're going to still get some blessings. Eat with the brothers. Walk with the brothers. Come to the masjid. Come to the UMA. Ask the brothers, brothers, look, I just need to sleep one night here. I just need to get out the street and get my head together. Because if you spend an hour a week with the people who have clean hearts, the people who have clean lives, the people who are giving them ilm, knowledge, the people who have a love for the Prophet ﷺ, the people who have made tawbah and after that did not return back to the crimes, if you spend an hour with them, it'll be just like 100 hours that you spent with your boys in the street. And you might have a chance to get up off the edge. But if you don't spend that hour, don't think, brother, somehow or another, some kind of fairy tale, Disneyland, inshallah kind of thing is just going to happen somewhere along the line. You're going to find yourself on a cold slab next door. And it'll all be over. You know what I'm talking about, the cold slab next door? And then it's all over, brothers. Your money, your girlfriends, all the bling bling you had around your neck. You know, all them jazzy cars, ZX or whatever you riding around in. One of your boys gonna be riding around in it. One of your boys gonna be wearing the bling bling. And one of your boys is gonna have your little girlie in the seat next to him. One of your boys gonna move into your apartment. One of your boys gonna be wearing your clothes. One of your boys is gonna take over that area that you were slinging. And one of your boys will be on the edge where you was, but now you inside the grave. Brothers, pull yourselves together.